Hey guys, BixWeirRoadrunner.com. Let's talk about something that nobody really talks about. Apple Computer and their position in the world, one of the largest companies in the world, if not the largest. I think they are the largest now. Um, Massive manufacturing in China and all throughout Asia. As a matter of fact, it's part of their business model. It would not have been so successful without all that manufacturing in Asia. And now we have a problem. So Apple stock is trading at $320, and since the coronavirus discussions outbreak, it's gone up 20% in the last 3 months. 20%. And when you're talking about a market cap of, this is going to get a little crazy now, $1.4 trillion. $1.4 trillion means that it's gone up, what, 200 plus billion in the last 3 months. That's just insane, especially when their manufacturing is on the brink of shutting down. And I'm not kidding about that. Remember, a computer is made up of many, many components. All these different components go to the place it's manufactured, ultimately the end product, but they take input from all throughout Asia, South Korea, and all kinds of different places. You would think that Apple would come out with a dire warning for their investors, but here is the release that they gave. Investor update on quarterly guidance. Cupertino, California, February 17th, so just yesterday. As the public health response to COVID-19 continues, our thoughts remain with the communities and individuals most deeply affected by the disease, and with those working around the clock to contain its spread and to treat the ill. Apple is more than doubling our previously announced donation to support its historic public health effort. Yes, I agree they should. That's where all their workers are. So absolutely, and they got all that cash. And then it gets into the interesting part. Our quarterly guidance issued on January 28th, just basically a little over 2 weeks before, reflected the best information available at the time, as well as our best estimates about the pace of return to work following the end of the extended Chinese New Year holiday on February 10th. Work is starting to resume around the country, but we are experiencing a slower return to normal conditions than we had anticipated just 2 weeks before. As a result, we do not expect to meet the revenue guidance we provide for the March quarter due to two main factors. The first is that worldwide iPhone supply will be temporarily constrained. While our iPhone manufacturing partners' sites are located outside the Hubei province, and while all these facilities have reopened and are ramping up more slowly than we had anticipated. I mean, reopening a facility might just be unlocking the door, no workers in there. We don't know what's really going on. The health and well-being of every person who helps make these products possible is our paramount priority, and we are working in close consultation with our suppliers and public health experts. As this ramp continues, these iPhone supply shortages will temporarily affect revenues worldwide. Another warning. The second is that demand for our products within China has been affected. All of our stores in China and many of our partner stores have been closed. Let me read that again. All of our stores in China and many of our partner stores have been closed. Additionally, stores that are open have been operating at reduced hours with very low customer traffic. Nobody is going to Apple to buy a computer in China. We are gradually reopening our retail stores and will continue to do so as steadily and safely as we can. Our corporate offices and contact centers in China are open, and our online stores have remained open throughout. Of course, their online stores are open. Outside of China, the customer demand across our product and service categories has been strong to date and in line with our expectations. If it wasn't for China, everything would be fine. The situation is evolving. I should highlight all these key words. The situation is evolving, meaning in another 2 weeks they're going to change everything. And we'll provide more information during our next earnings call in April. They're not going to say anything between now and April. They got a huge problem. Apple is fundamentally strong, and this disruption in our business is only temporary, so you think. Our first priority now and always is the health and safety of our employees, supply chain partners, customers, and communities in which we operate. Our profound gratitude is with those on the front line confronting the health emergency. And then the disclaimer. So they're saying they drop little hints that they're monitoring the situation, which means they're going to come out with another announcement in probably 2 weeks. But, so this was February 17th. Here's what happened on February 20th today. Negative impact. Top Apple supplier Foxconn warns over revenue hit. Top Apple supplier Foxconn Technology warned Thursday that the COVID-19 breakout in China would lead to lower full-year revenue. Foxconn said it would cautiously resume output at critical facilities in China that had been shut down because of the virus outbreak. As we are moving ahead with the reopening of mainland China manufacturing complexes in a relatively cautious manner, this will indeed have a negative impact on full-year revenues, Foxconn said. Foxconn is the largest electronics manufacturer in the world, and its ominous warning about supply chain disruptions affecting its full-year guidance follows Apple's revenue guidance cut for the March quarter due to virus-related issues. Supply chain disruptions for Apple and Foxconn could persist throughout April. It's literally all it takes is one person at one facility to get sick, and boom, the whole facility is shut down again. And that's what we're going to see. So this isn't all the bad news that Apple Computer has fallen on. South Korea's Hynix says 800 workers to stay home after trainee had contact with virus patient. South Korean chip maker SK Hynix said on Thursday that 800 of its workers had quarantined themselves as a precautionary measure. Sure, they locked the door and threw away the key on the outside to prevent the spread of the coronavirus. But its production in the city of Aichon has not been affected. The move came after one trainee had close contact with a virus patient in the southeastern city of Daegu. SK Hynix is the world's number 2 memory chip manufacturer, which counts Apple Inc. and Huawei among its customers, as other trainee also said another trainee has also had symptoms of pneumonia. The 2 trainees tested negative for the virus, but will undergo a second test, which they'll find the virus. The surgeon confirmed cases to a local church in Daegu this week, sparked fears of wider transmission. So basically, you're seeing all the suppliers of chips and componentry, and you've seen the inside of a computer. That stuff's being built all over the place, put all in one spot for it to be put into the retail product. If you don't get one of those pieces, just one of those pieces, it's shut down. And that's where we are now. So, here's the reason I'm saying this. Everybody's kind of scratching their head. What in the hell? Why is the stock market keeps going up, keeps going up, keeps going up? Why did Apple stock, after the announcement of the virus, was it 2 months ago? Why has it gone up, 20% since mid-December? It's gone up 20%. And that's 20% of, that's over 200 and something billion dollars the stock went up when the signs are clear that the earnings are going to be affected. The entire company could shut down its manufacturing in Asia, and where else? That's the question. Probably everywhere. Why? Because all these parts are made throughout Asia. All the thousands of parts that go into one computer, one iPhone, one iPad. They need parts from everywhere. You don't have a certain part, you can't make the piece. Same with the car manufacturers. And the Dow Jones keeps rocking up. But look at where Apple is. Now, a lot of people don't understand the Dow Jones. It's just an average. Oh, if the Dow's gone up for the last 150 years. Of course it is, because every time a stock is going up, they heavyweight it, and they rotate out stocks that are dying. So Apple is part of the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Absolutely. As a matter of fact, it's the second largest component. Apple makes up 7.48% of the Dow. That's a huge. The only other company that makes up more, which is in bigger trouble, is Boeing at 7.82%. So Steve Mnuchen is clicking his mouse to keep the Dow up. How do you think Boeing will be affected by the coronavirus? No flights going anywhere, which means the Boeing customers are hemorrhaging money. Our company, when I was in banking, used to finance large aircraft. I always thought it was the dumbest business in the world. It's either boom or bust. And when it busts bad. The reason finance companies love to finance airplanes is because it's a huge dollar amount they can put out the door with one sales rep. And the sales rep's like, yeah, this is the greatest deal ever. You know, when things are going all right for the company, and then within 2 years they're bankrupt, and you're repossessing a gigantic aircraft. Trust me, Boeing is going under. Not to mention the problems they already have. The problems their customers are going to have. The travel restrictions. Imagine. I mean, they haven't even fully cut off the flights from China to the U.S. yet. They will. Right now, all the rich Chinese who are able to leave the country are coming here to the U.S. And I've had that confirmed by multiple people, not just that one guy who said, oh my God, they're all coming into L.A. I got off a flight and it was all rich Chinese from Asia. And you don't think any of them had the coronavirus? Anyway, but look at the third one. United Health Group. You'd think that stock would soar, all the sickness. No. They make money off drugs, and drugs aren't being manufactured because it's all in China. Home Depot. Who's going to do a house remodel? Nobody. Maybe for duct tape and painting masks and stuff like that. Goldman Sachs. Highly levered in their investments in China and all throughout Asia. McDonald's. You can't even go out for a meal in China anymore. You're in lockdown. Visa, I guess people are buying things. But see, you can't buy things over the internet either because it won't get delivered. All the way down the line, Microsoft, hugely affected. A lot of manufacturing all over the place. 3M, IBM, all these technology companies are basically frozen. But Steve Mnuchen keeps clicking the mouse so the Dow doesn't go down. Wow. Stop saying, wow. But it's only really the top 10. Boeing, Apple, United Healthcare, Home Depot, Goldman Sachs, McDonald's, Visa, Microsoft, 3M, IBM. Those are the top 10, and those pretty much make up the entire Dow because they're heavily weighted. And the weighting changes. Watch, when these companies start dying, they're going to change the weighting to something else. Now let's take a quick look. 15, 22, 28, 33, 43, 50. Over 50% of the Dow is covered in just these 10 companies. Let me say that again. Over 50% of the Dow. So Steve Mnuchen, all he has to do is rig these 10 companies and boom. You got a stock market still going up. So I do not think this will last much longer. It defies common sense. The Apple computer stock staying at 20% higher valuation at $1.4 trillion since the outbreak. Up probably 230 or so billion in the last 2 months. Steve Mnuchen, this is the problem, Steve. I know you listen to me. This is the problem with rigging markets. You get so out in front of yourself. Trump is so pounding on you. Rig it, rig it, rig it. Keep gold and silver down. Crash the cryptos. Come out and say crypto sucks, so we crash it. We know what you do. It's embarrassing. Jamie Dimon does the same thing. You guys are embarrassing. But in reality, like Cliff says, you can deny reality all you want. You can't deny the consequences of reality. The consequences of reality might not be seen in the financial market. They'll probably be seen in people going, oh my God, there's nothing on the store shelves. How did we get in this place? It's because of market rigging and the exporting of our manufacturing base to China, always done by the bankers for the bankers. Bernie's right about that one too. It's really scary that Bernie's probably got the right answers. Not the right solution, but the right answers to what happened in the past. Anyway, Big Weir, hang on to your hats, people. Get all your assets. And that's not even talking about the rehypothecation of Apple shares. And look, PE ratios at 25. That is going to spike to 50, 75, 85, 95, 100 in the first quarter earnings report because the earnings are going to be nada. They're probably going to take a one-time hit. Billions and billions of dollars. The machine is being shut down. And there is no clear light in the next 3 or 4 months. Then after that, it's going to take at least 6 months to get things up and running again. Right until we get up into flu season again. I'm just saying, keep an eye on Apple.
Bravo, band! Bravo, band!
More wine.
More wine. More cowbell. This is it's called Hey Mr. Banker. It was written about Jamie Dimon and the criminality. The amazing thing about banks these days is you can go to JP Morgan, go across the street to the 7-Eleven. Somebody robs that store of $100, they get like 6 months in jail. Right across the street, they're robbing us for billions of dollars every day, and they get no jail time. They pay a fine, and the fine's a hell of a lot less than they make on those transactions. It is pathetic, it is sick, it is wrong, and I wrote this song called Hey Mr. Banker. I usually do it slow, but with the band, we're going to go really fast, snippy, like fast. All right, ready? Start
Hey, Mr. Banker, I can see you play your dirty games, but you ain't fooling me. You're making money out of thin air, lending to the people. The money never was there, foreclosing on my sheeple. It all falls apart and we are down on one knee. You demand a bailout and I get out of jail card-free. Whoa, you're just a criminal in a fancy suit. You're just a criminal, stealing everyone's loot. You're just a criminal, and you'll get yours one day. When the people find out, they're gonna lock you away. Hey, Mr. Banker, I see what you're doing. You're rigging markets higher, derivatives are brewing. You tell us all is different, it's gonna go on forever. Secretly you're short thinking you're so damn clever. You finally rig it down and watch everybody drown. You steal the real asses, get the heck out of town. Oh, you're just a criminal in a fancy suit, just a criminal, stealing everyone's loot. You're just a criminal, you'll get yours one day. When the people find out, we're gonna lock you away. Take it, Dick. Mr. Banker, I think you're in trouble. The people are awake and we're arising from the rubble. And don't you run and hide now, cause we are gonna find you, drag you in the town square, expose what you've been up to. The justice will be swift, we're gonna lock you in a hole. I'd hate to be you, God have mercy, mercy, mercy on your soul. You're just a criminal in a fancy suit, just a criminal, stealing everyone's loot. Just a criminal, you'll get yours one day. When the people find out, they're gonna lock you away. Oh, you're just a criminal in a fancy suit. Just a criminal, stealing everyone's loot. You're just a criminal, and you'll get yours one day. When the people find out, they're gonna lock you away.
Just a criminal. Jamie Dimon.